The U.S. prison system is exacting heavy toll, both financially and human. The number of inmates is growing rapidly, with more than 2 million in the United States. There are 3 critical points that I will discuss to help you show why we need to improve our prison systems. They are the conditions of the prison, the overcrowding of inmates, which results in an increase in violence, and the rise in cost of housing these inmates. The conditions of the prisons in the United States are inhuman. The Bureau of Justice statistics report that there are more than 2,166,260 Americans housed in correctional facilities. Crowding is one cause, and with most lockups so packed that they feature a degree of disorder and tension almost certain to erupt in violence. 17 states have recently reported increases of at least 5% of an inmate population, with Maine up to 11.5% and Rhode Island. Due to the prisons being overcrowded, inmates are forced to double up, which means the double bunking of many super-maximum prisons. The inmates are then forced to spend prolonged amounts of time in isolation in tiny cells, which frequently causes mental illness in these inmates. On August 23, 2003, a 37-year-old prisoner strangled fellow inmate and former priest John Guhan to death. Since the correction system was unable to protect this high-profile inmate, people began to wonder how many others were being felled behind prison walls. State and federal correctional reports show a 27% increase in inmate assaults and a 32% rise in inmate on staff attacks. Since the layoffs of 2003, crime inside the jail system has risen 20%, and the suicide rate of inmates have also increased dramatically. Violence remains a serious problem in prisons and jails, with gang assaults, rapes, riots, and in Florida, beatings of goon squads of officers. There are all direct connection to the overcrowding of inmates in our prison systems. So what have we been doing about it? The United States has increased the cost of prisons being built. However, this increase is not paying off. Because of this failure, states are suffering a financial strain. The public is being threatened by parolees with communicable diseases who are being released early, and victimization is driven by a recidivism rate of more than 60%. According to CBS News, taxpayers are being estimated $40 billion a year for prisons. Feeding and caring for an inmate costs about $20,000 a year on average. The construction costs are about $100,000 per cell. The demand to build more prisons has often taken funds from the few existing treatment and education programs available, leading to a vicious circle in which more prisons are needed, because partly due to the lack of these programs, more prisoners continue to come back. So what can we do to improve our prison systems? We can reform what has been a great disregard for increase of violence due to overcrowding prison population. We can make harsh punishments for repeat offenders so that maybe the rising cost of housing these prisoners will subside. Finally, we can make a change in who sent to prison and find alternate punishments for those that are mentally ill or nonviolent offenders. By doing this last thing, we can drastically reduce the cost of the prison system, therefore allow ourselves more options and supervision and improvement of the epic overall.